Introduction. Welcome to 100 Mind-Blowing Soccer Facts, a collection designed to make you say, wait, that actually happened? From bizarre goals to wild rulebook loopholes, this audiobook is packed with unbelievable stories that will make you look at the beautiful game in a whole new way. Have you ever heard about the time a dog saved a goal? Or when a referee gave a red card to a chair? What about the match that was stopped by a drone? Or the time a goalkeeper scored with his backside? These are just a few of the jaw-dropping moments waiting for you. Each story has been carefully chosen to surprise, entertain, and leave you in absolute disbelief. Whether you're a lifelong soccer fanatic, a casual fan, or just someone who loves crazy but true sports stories, this audiobook has something for everyone. Listen from start to finish, or jump to a random chapter and see what catches your ear. No matter how you experience it, you're in for a fun, fast-paced, and unforgettable ride through soccer's strangest and most shocking moments. So sit back, relax, and get ready to hear the craziest, most mind-blowing stories from the world of soccer. Who knows? By the end, you might just have a few wild facts of your own to share. Let's kick off. The game that lasted 3 days. The longest soccer match in history lasted 3 full days and shattered records for endurance. In 1946, Stockport County and Doncaster Rovers played an epic match in the English Football League's Division III North Cup that refused to end. After 203 minutes of play, 3 hours beyond the usual 90 minutes, the game was finally abandoned due to darkness. Back then, stadiums didn't have floodlights, so the match simply couldn't continue. The teams had to replay the match, making this the longest officially recorded soccer game in history. The day a dog won man of the match. A stray dog once interrupted a professional soccer match, then got named man of the match. During a 2018 game in Argentina's Primera Division, a playful pup sprinted onto the field and stole the show. The dog zoomed past players, dodged referees, and even stopped a dangerous attack by deflecting the ball. Instead of shooing it away, the players embraced the moment, and after the match, the dog was humorously awarded Man of the Match for its unexpected defensive performance. The moment went viral, proving that sometimes 4 legs are just as good as 2 on the pitch. The referee who pulled out a white card. Soccer has red and yellow cards, but did you know there's also a white card? In a historic moment in 2023, a referee in Portugal used a white card for the first time ever. Unlike red for ejections and yellow for warnings, the white card is meant to reward fair play and sportsmanship. During a match between Benfica and Sporting CP's women's teams, the ref brandished the white card to recognize the medical teams for helping an injured player. Fans were stunned to see a new color on the field, proving that not all cards are bad news. The game that was played on 2 continents. One soccer match was played in 2 different continents at the same time. The Şükrü Saracoğlu Stadium, home of Fenerbahçe in Turkey, sits right on the border of Europe and Asia. Because of this, when a match is played there, one half of the field is technically in Europe, while the other half is in Asia. This makes Fenerbahçe's home games the only professional soccer matches in the world that are literally played on 2 continents at once. The match that had no ball. A professional soccer game once started without the ball because nobody noticed. In a 2002 FA Cup match between Arsenal and Sheffield United, The referee blew the whistle for kickoff and the players began passing. But there was no ball on the field. For a few awkward seconds, both teams moved as if the game had begun, only for everyone, players, coaches, and thousands of fans, to realize the ball was missing. The referee laughed it off. The ball was finally placed on the pitch, and the game restarted properly. The goalkeeper who scored more goals than most strikers. One goalkeeper scored 132 goals in his career, more than many strikers. Brazilian legend Rogério Ceni wasn't just an incredible shot stopper, he was also a deadly free kick and penalty taker. Over his 25-year career with São Paulo FC, Ceni smashed an unbelievable 132 goals, making him the highest-scoring goalkeeper in soccer history. While most keepers stick to their box, Ceni proved that sometimes the best way to save a game is by scoring the winner yourself. The World Cup that was stolen. The FIFA World Cup trophy was once stolen and found by a dog. In 1966, just before the World Cup in England, the Jules Rimet trophy mysteriously vanished from a display case in London. The entire country went into panic mode, fearing it was lost forever. But just 7 days later, a heroic dog named Pickles sniffed out the stolen trophy in a garden while on a walk with his owner. Pickles became an instant national hero, even attending the World Cup final as an honored guest. The player who got a red card before the game even started. A soccer player once received a red card before kickoff, even before stepping on the field. In a 1998 English League match, Plymouth Argyle's goalkeeper Jimmy Glass was sent off before the game even began. As the teams warmed up, Glass got into a heated argument with the referee over a minor issue. The referee had enough, pulled out a red card, and sent him off before the match had even started. This made him one of the few players in history to be ejected before touching the ball. The match that was delayed by a swarm of bees. A soccer game was once stopped because of an unexpected invasion by bees. During a 2018 match in South Africa, chaos broke out when a massive swarm of bees stormed the field. Players, referees, and fans ducked, dodged, and ran for cover as thousands of bees took over the pitch. The game had to be delayed until officials could clear the buzzing intruders. It remains one of the strangest reasons a soccer match has ever been stopped. The fastest red card in history. A player was sent off just 2 seconds after coming onto the field. In 2000, English footballer Lee Todd set the record for the fastest red card in soccer history. The moment the referee blew the whistle to start the match, Todd muttered, "That was loud." The referee took offense, deemed it dissent, and immediately gave him a red card. Todd didn't even get to touch the ball before being sent off, earning him one of the most ridiculous dismissals in soccer history. The goal that was scored in just 2 seconds. The fastest goal in soccer history took just 2 seconds. In 2009, Nawaf Al-Abed, playing for Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, scored an unbelievable goal straight from kickoff. As soon as the referee blew the whistle, Al-Abed fired a rocket shot from midfield that caught the goalkeeper off guard and landed in the net, all in just 2 seconds. This remains one of the fastest officially recorded goals in soccer history, proving that sometimes you don't need to pass the ball to make history. The referee who booked himself. A referee once gave himself a yellow card during a match. During an amateur match in England in 1998, referee Graham Poll accidentally tripped over his own feet and fell to the ground. Embarrassed, he jokingly pulled out his yellow card and held it up to himself for simulation diving. The players and crowd erupted in laughter, making it one of the funniest moments in soccer history. While Paul later became one of the world's top referees, this remains one of his most legendary moments. The game that ended 149-0. The biggest scoreline in soccer history was a 149-0 victory. In 2002, Madagascar's AS Adema won a league match against Stade Olympique de Lemern by an insane score of 149-0. But here's the twist. The losing team scored all 149 goals on purpose. In protest against a controversial referee decision in a previous match, Stade Olympique players deliberately kicked the ball into their own net over and over again. The referee had no choice but to let the goals count, creating the most lopsided scoreline in soccer history. The fan who got signed after one kick. A fan once got a professional contract just for kicking the ball during halftime. In 2013, a fan named Sam Bartlam attended a match for his favorite club, Al Wasl FC in the UAE. During halftime, he was randomly selected for a fan challenge and took a spectacular long-range shot that stunned the crowd. The team's coach was so impressed that he offered him a trial on the spot. Bartlam later joined the club's youth academy, proving that sometimes a single kick can change your life. The player who was sold for 100 kilograms of meat. A soccer player was once traded for 100 kilograms of meat. In 1998, an Argentine club, Deportivo Rincon, was struggling financially and couldn't afford to pay their players. Instead of cash, they traded one of their midfielders, Adrian Bastia, for 100 kilograms of steak. The unusual deal actually helped the club feed the rest of the team, making it one of the most bizarre transfers in soccer history. The soccer ball that saved a man's life. A soccer ball once saved a man from drowning in the ocean. In 2022, a tourist swimming off the coast of Greece got caught in strong currents and was swept out to sea. Just when things looked dire, he spotted a floating soccer ball drifting toward him. Clinging to it for dear life, he managed to stay afloat for 18 hours until rescuers finally found him. Later, it was revealed that the ball had floated away from a beach over 10 miles away, proving that sometimes a lucky bounce can be a lifesaver. The soccer team that was banned for winning too much. A team was once banned from their league because they were too good. In the 2012 Madagascar Super League, a team called SOE was so dominant that league officials kicked them out for making the competition unfair. Their unbeaten streak and massive goal differences made the league uncompetitive, so organizers ruled that they could no longer participate. Imagine being so good at soccer that you're not allowed to play anymore. The match that was played without a ball. A professional soccer match was played entirely without a ball for charity. In 1986, Dutch club FC Haarlem organized a bizarre game where players had to pretend they were playing soccer, but without an actual ball. Every pass, shot, and goal celebration was completely imaginary, with players and referees acting as if the ball was really there. The unusual event was held to raise money for charity, and incredibly, thousands of fans still showed up to watch. The goal that was scored by the wind. A goalkeeper once conceded a goal without anyone touching the ball because of the wind. During a 2013 match in England, goalkeeper Sam Slocum took what seemed like a routine goal kick. But as soon as the ball soared into the air, a powerful gust of wind blew it straight back toward his own goal. The ball bounced once, flew over his head, and rolled into the net, leaving him and his teammates in complete shock. The referee had no choice but to count the goal, making it one of the strangest own goals in soccer history. The time a player bit a chunk off another player's ear. A soccer player once bit off part of an opponent's ear during a game. In 1994, during a heated match in the German Bundesliga, Bayern Munich's Oliver Kahn lost his temper and bit a chunk out of an opponent's ear. The victim, Heiko Herrlich, was left in shock as Kahn had to be pulled away by teammates. The incident was so brutal that Kahn was given the nickname Der Titan, the Titan, cementing his reputation as one of soccer's most intimidating figures. The game that was played at 16,000 feet. A soccer match was once played higher than Mount Everest's base camp. In 2022, a group of professional and amateur players set a world record by playing a full soccer match at 16,000 feet, 4,876 meters, above sea level in the Himalayas. The extreme altitude made breathing incredibly difficult, but the players powered through, completing a 90-minute game on a glacier-covered field. This remains the highest altitude soccer match ever played, where even running for a few minutes felt like a full sprint. The time a goalkeeper scored from his own box. A goalkeeper once scored a goal from his own penalty area. In 2013, Stoke City's Asmir Begovic made history when he launched a goal kick that traveled over 100 yards, 91 meters, and bounced straight into the opposing net. The shot was so powerful and caught the other keeper so off guard that it set the Guinness World Record for the longest goal in soccer history. The most insane part? It only took 13 seconds from when he kicked it to when it hit the back of the net. The match that was played with only 7 players. A professional soccer team once had to play an entire match with just 7 players. In 2021, Brazilian club Grêmio was forced to take the field against International, despite having only 7 fit players due to injuries and COVID-19 cases. Since FIFA rules state that a team must have at least 7 players to start a match, they had no choice but to go ahead. Unsurprisingly, they were massively outnumbered, and the match was abandoned after just 6 minutes when one of their players suddenly went down injured, leaving them with only 6 men and forcing the referee to call it off. The player who wore 5 different jerseys in one match. A player once had to change his jersey 5 times in a single game. During a 2005 UEFA Champions League match, AC Milan's Gennaro Gattuso found himself in a bizarre situation. His shirt kept getting ripped, pulled, and torn by opponents. By the time the match ended, he had worn 5 different jerseys because each one got too damaged to continue playing in. It remains one of the strangest wardrobe malfunctions in soccer history. The player who was sent off 3 times in one game. A player once received 3 red cards in the same match. In 2006, English referee Graham Poll made one of the most infamous blunders in World Cup history. He showed Croatian defender Josip Šimunić 3 yellow cards before finally sending him off. Normally, a player is ejected after 2 yellow cards, but Pohl forgot to issue the red card after the second booking. It wasn't until the 3rd yellow that he realized his mistake and finally sent Šimunić off. This embarrassing moment effectively ended Pohl's international refereeing career. The goalkeeper who wore a cap for superstition. A legendary goalkeeper believed his lucky cap made him unbeatable. Soviet Union legend Lev Yashin widely regarded as one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time, was famous for wearing a flat cap during matches. But this wasn't just for style. He believed it helped him see the ball better and gave him an edge over opponents. Nicknamed the Black Spider for his incredible reflexes, Yashin remains the only goalkeeper to ever win the Ballon d'Or, proving that sometimes superstition pays off. The referee who brought a gun onto the field. A referee once pulled out a gun during a soccer match. In 2015, a heated amateur match in Brazil took a shocking turn when the referee, upset over player protests, went to the sidelines and returned with a loaded gun. Players and fans ran in terror as he waved the weapon around, claiming he needed to restore order. Fortunately, security intervened before anyone was harmed, and the referee was immediately arrested, making it one of the most outrageous officiating moments in soccer history. The World Cup that was won by a coin toss. A team once won a World Cup match by flipping a coin. Before penalty shootouts were introduced, tied matches in international tournaments were sometimes decided by a simple coin toss. In the 1968 European Championship, Italy and the Soviet Union played to a 0-0 draw in the semifinals. Instead of extra time or penalties, the referee flipped a silver coin in the locker room and Italy won. The Italians went on to win the entire tournament, making them the only team in history to win a major international title thanks to pure luck. The time a player disguised himself as a teammate. A player once swapped jerseys with a teammate to avoid a red card. In a 1999 South American club match, a player who had already received a yellow card pulled off a sneaky trick to stay in the game. Just before the referee could show him a second yellow, he swapped jerseys with a teammate and pretended to be someone else. The referee didn't notice at first, and the player stayed on the field for several more minutes before officials finally realized the deception and sent him off. The match that was stopped by a parrot. A soccer game was once stopped because of a talking parrot on the field. During a 2018 match in Brazil, play had to be halted when a parrot flew onto a player's shoulder and refused to leave. Every time the player tried to move, the bird clung on tighter and even started squawking loudly. The referee had no choice but to pause the game until animal handlers arrived. The funniest part? The parrot kept repeating the same phrase over and over, "Vai Corinthians," cheering for a team that wasn't even playing. The player who missed a game because of a video game. A professional soccer player once missed a match because he was addicted to a video game. In 2018, Arsenal's Mesut Ozil was mysteriously left out of a big match. Fans speculated he was injured until reports surfaced that he had been playing Fortnite for over 5 hours a day. Data showed that his gaming username had logged more than 1,800 matches in just a few months. Arsenal's coaching staff later suggested that his back problems might have been caused by too much gaming, making him one of the few players to miss a match due to esports addiction. The goal that was scored by a toilet paper roll. A roll of toilet paper once accidentally helped score a goal. During a 2008 match in Argentina, a goalkeeper went to clear the ball when a toilet paper roll thrown by fans blew onto the field. As he swung his leg, the paper distracted him just enough to mistime his kick. The ball barely moved, and an opposing striker easily stole it and scored. The referee allowed the goal to stand, making it one of the most ridiculous assists in soccer history, delivered by toilet paper. the player who brought his own penalty spot. A soccer player once carried a piece of grass in his sock to take penalties. In 1986, Argentinian striker José Luis Chilavert had a unique superstition. He believed he could only score penalties if he kicked from his own perfect patch of grass. So before every game, he would cut a small square of grass from his home training ground, hide it in his sock, and place it on the penalty spot before taking his shot. His strange ritual must have worked. He became one of the highest scoring goalkeepers of all time. The team that scored without touching the ball. A soccer team once scored a goal without ever touching the ball. During a 2013 match in Italy, a goalkeeper from Rimini prepared to take a routine goal kick. As he stepped back to launch the ball upfield, his foot got stuck in the grass, causing him to completely miss the ball. To make matters worse, the ball slowly rolled backward into his own net. Since no other player had touched it, the goal stood, making it one of the strangest own goals ever scored. The time a team won a game with just one shot. A team once won a match despite taking only one shot the entire game. During a 2018 Champions League match, Greek club AEK Athens faced off against Celtic in a match where they were completely outplayed. Celtic dominated possession, took 26 shots on goal, and looked certain to win. But in a shocking twist, AEK Athens took just one single shot to the entire match, and it went in. Their 100% shot accuracy secured them an unlikely 1-0 victory, proving that in soccer, you only need one moment of magic. The coach who got himself sent off on purpose. A coach once got a red card on purpose, just to watch the game from a better seat. During a 2016 match in Italy, coach Giovanni Stroppa was frustrated with the referee's calls. Instead of arguing, he intentionally stepped onto the field, knowing it would get him sent off to the stands. His reason? He wanted a better view of the game. Fans later joked that he had upgraded himself to VIP seating without paying a dime. The time a goalkeeper used a water bottle to save a penalty. A goalkeeper once saved a crucial penalty using secret notes hidden in his water bottle. During the 2018 FIFA World Cup, Denmark's goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel faced a penalty against Croatia's Luka Modric in extra time. But Schmeichel had a secret weapon. His water bottle had notes taped to it, listing where each Croatian player liked to shoot. Using this inside knowledge, he dived the right way and saved the penalty. Even though Denmark eventually lost in the shootout, Schmeichel's smart strategy made headlines worldwide. The match that had 22 red cards. A soccer match once ended with every single player getting sent off. In 2011, an Argentinian lower division match between Claypole and Victoriano Arenas turned into complete chaos. A heated argument between two players quickly escalated into a full-blown brawl involving both teams, the substitutes, and even some coaches. The referee had seen enough, so he pulled out his red card and sent off all 22 players. This remains one of the most extreme mass ejections in soccer history. The time a goal was disallowed because of a whistle from the crowd. A team once had a goal ruled out because a fan blew a fake whistle. During a 2013 Spanish League match, a player was through on goal and smashed the ball into the net, only for the referee to disallow it. The reason? A fan in the stands had blown a whistle, tricking the players into thinking the ref had stopped play. The referee was left with no choice but to cancel the goal, and the guilty fan was quickly kicked out of the stadium. Imagine losing a goal because of a prankster in the crowd. The player who scored a hat trick in just 70 seconds. A player once scored 3 goals in just 70 seconds. In 1964, Scottish striker Tommy Ross set a world record by scoring the fastest hat trick in history while playing for Ross County. His goals came in the 9th, 10th, and 11th minutes of the game, meaning he completed his hat trick in an unbelievable 70 seconds. The record still stands today, proving that sometimes all it takes is one unstoppable minute to make history. The match that was played in 3 different days. A soccer game once took place across 3 different calendar days. In 2019, a German lower league match between VfL Osnabrück and MSV Duisburg began on a Friday night, but had to be stopped due to heavy rain. The match was rescheduled and restarted on Saturday, but after just a few minutes, another storm forced another postponement. Finally, the game was completed on Sunday, making it one of the only professional matches to be played over 3 separate days. The time a goalkeeper was sent off after 10 seconds. A goalkeeper once got a red card just 10 seconds into a match. In 2000, English goalkeeper Kevin Pressman set an unwanted record while playing for Sheffield Wednesday. Just 10 seconds after kickoff, an opposing player rushed toward him, and in a moment of panic, Pressman handled the ball outside the penalty area. The referee had no choice but to show him a straight red card, making it one of the fastest dismissals in soccer history before he even touched the ball in play. The player who scored 5 own goals in one game. A defender once scored 5 own goals in a single match. In 1994, during a match in Madagascar's top league, defender Radouan Bezbes shocked everyone by deliberately scoring 5 own goals. Why? His team, Stade Olympique de Lemern, was protesting a controversial referee decision from a previous match. Instead of competing, they decided to own goal their way to a 149-0 defeat. This remains the most self-inflicted goals by a single player in one game, an unwanted record that still stands today. A goal was scored from a throw-in, almost. A player once scored directly from a throw-in, but it didn't count. During a 2012 match in Serbia, a player launched a massive throw-in that somehow flew over everyone, bounced once, and landed in the net. The crowd erupted in celebration, but there was just one problem. According to FIFA rules, a goal cannot be scored directly from a throw-in. Since no one else touched the ball, the referee had to disallow the goal. Despite the bad luck, it remains one of the most incredible non-goals in soccer history. The player who brought a chicken onto the field. A soccer player once celebrated a goal by pulling a live chicken out of his shorts. During a 2009 match in Paraguay, striker Jose Pedroso stunned the crowd after scoring by reaching into his shorts and pulling out a live chicken. He had secretly hidden the bird inside his uniform before the game as part of a bizarre bet with a teammate. The referee was so shocked that he didn't even issue a yellow card. He was too busy laughing. It remains one of the strangest goal celebrations in soccer history. The match that was stopped because of too many balloons. A soccer game was once delayed because the field was covered in balloons. During a 2008 match between Aston Villa and Sunderland in the English Premier League, hundreds of claret and blue balloons, Villa's colours, were released by fans. The problem? The wind blew them all onto the field, making it impossible for the players to see or pass the ball. The referee had to pause the game until stadium staff popped and cleared the balloons, making it one of the most bizarre match stoppages ever. The player who wore two different shoes in a match. A soccer player once played an entire game wearing two completely different shoes. During a 1995 Premier League match, English defender Chris Waddle realized just before kickoff that he had forgotten one of his boots. With no time to get a replacement, he borrowed one shoe from a teammate and played the entire game with two mismatched boots. Despite the unusual footwear, he still put in a solid performance, proving that sometimes skill matters more than style. The time a goal was scored after just 2 touches. A team once scored a goal with only 2 touches from kickoff. In a 2017 lower league match in England, a team pulled off one of the simplest yet most effective goals ever. The moment the referee blew the whistle, the first player tapped the ball forward and his teammate immediately smashed it from midfield, sending it soaring over the goalkeeper and into the net. Just 2 touches and 3 seconds after kickoff, they had already scored, proving that sometimes less is more. The team that forgot to bring their jerseys. A professional soccer team once had to borrow their opponent's jerseys because they forgot their own. In 1978, German club Bayern Munich arrived for a match against VfL Bochum, only to realize they had completely forgotten to pack their jerseys. With no time to fix the mistake, Bayern had to borrow Bochum's away kit and play in their opponent's colors. Despite the mix-up, Bayern still won the match, though their fans probably had a hard time figuring out who to cheer for. The game that was played in a prison. A professional soccer match was once played inside a high-security prison. In 2005, Brazilian club Flamengo was invited to play a friendly match against inmates inside the infamous Bangu prison. The idea was to promote rehabilitation through sports, and shockingly, the prisoners' team actually won. Guards monitored the match closely, but the game ended peacefully, making it one of the most unique and unexpected venues for a soccer match in history. The time a goalkeeper played with a broken arm. A goalkeeper once played an entire match with a broken arm and still won. In 1935, legendary Czech goalkeeper František Planička suffered a painful arm fracture during a heated match. But instead of coming off, he refused to leave the field and continued playing with just one fully functional arm. Incredibly, he still managed to make several crucial saves, helping his team secure victory. His bravery cemented his reputation as one of the toughest goalkeepers in soccer history. The player who was signed because of a video game. A soccer player once got a professional contract because of his FIFA video game skills. In 2018, English club Burton Albion made history by signing a player who had never played professional soccer, but was a FIFA video game champion. The club was so impressed by his understanding of tactics and positioning in the game that they invited him for a trial. To everyone's shock, he performed well enough to earn a short-term contract, proving that sometimes virtual soccer skills can translate to the real pitch. The time a team celebrated too early and lost. A soccer team once started celebrating too soon and ended up losing the match. During a 2013 match in Bolivia, Club the Strongest thought they had won the game after scoring in the final seconds. Players and fans erupted in celebration, and even their goalkeeper ran to join the party near the corner flag. But the opposing team, Club Aurora, quickly restarted play while the goal was empty and scored from midfield. The match ended in a draw, leaving the strongest stunned and proving that in soccer, it's never over until the final whistle blows. The time a referee used rock, paper, scissors to decide a match. A referee once used rock, paper, scissors to settle a match decision. In 2018, during an English Women's League game, the referee forgot to bring a coin for the pre-match coin toss. Instead of delaying the game, he asked the two team captains to play rock, paper, scissors to decide who would kick off. The moment was caught on camera, and while the captains laughed it off, the English Football Association suspended the referee for not following official procedures. The player who scored while tying his shoelaces. A soccer player once scored a goal while tying his shoelaces. During a 2012 match in Brazil, forward Luis Adriano bent down to fix his loose shoelaces right in front of the goal. Just as he was tying them, a defender attempted a clearance, but the ball deflected off Adriano's leg and rolled into the net. The stunned striker looked up, saw the ball in the goal, and celebrated one of the laziest but luckiest goals ever scored. The time a player got a red card for kissing the referee. A soccer player once received a red card for kissing the referee. In a 2010 match in Spain, Argentinian midfielder Raúl Temudo disagreed with a referee's decision and decided to protest in the most bizarre way possible by giving the ref a kiss on the cheek. The referee was not amused and immediately showed Temudo a red card for unsportsmanlike conduct. The incident became one of the strangest ways a player has ever been sent off. The game that had three halves. A soccer match once accidentally had three halves instead of two. In 2019, a lower division game in Mexico saw one of the strangest scheduling blunders in soccer history. After the first 45 minutes, the referee blew for halftime as usual, but in the second half, officials miscalculated the time and blew the final whistle 10 minutes too early. After realizing the mistake, the teams were called back onto the field to play the remaining minutes, essentially creating a third half. The time a streaker scored a goal. A streaker once ran onto the field and actually scored a goal. During a 1994 match in England, a fan managed to sprint onto the pitch completely naked and shockingly dribbled past the goalkeeper before tapping the ball into the net. The referee, of course, didn't count the goal, and security quickly tackled the unexpected striker. The bizarre moment left players and fans in hysterics, proving that sometimes soccer delivers surprises no one can predict. The player who scored a goal while lying down. A soccer player once scored a goal while lying flat on the ground. During a 2014 match in Turkey, striker İlhan Parlak was tackled just outside the penalty area and fell to the ground. But as he landed, the ball somehow rolled perfectly into his path. Instead of getting up, he swung his leg while lying down and sent the ball curling past the goalkeeper into the net. It was one of the most unorthodox but incredible goals ever scored. The referee who used a spray can to draw a line. A referee once brought a spray can onto the field to control free kicks, and it changed soccer forever. Before 2000, players often cheated by moving the ball forward or creeping past the required 10-yard distance during free kicks. Brazilian referee Heine Alemain came up with a genius idea. He used a disappearing spray can to mark the exact spot for the ball and the defensive wall. FIFA later adopted the idea, and today, this magic spray is used in almost every major soccer match worldwide. The match that was played with a square ball. A professional soccer game was once played using a square-shaped ball. In 1962, a Swedish league match experimented with a new ball design, a square-shaped ball meant to improve dribbling and passing accuracy. However, the match quickly turned into chaos as players struggled to predict the ball's unpredictable bounces. After just 30 minutes, the game had to be abandoned, and the square ball idea was permanently scrapped. Lesson learned: some innovations just aren't meant for soccer. The time a goalkeeper scored with his backside. A goalkeeper once scored a goal using his backside. During a 2011 match in Brazil, goalkeeper Rogério Ceni attempted to clear the ball with a big kick, but as soon as he swung his leg, an opposing striker blocked the shot, and the ball bounced off Ceni's backside, looped over his head, and into his own net. It was one of the most humiliating and bizarre own goals ever seen, proving that sometimes the ball has a mind of its own. The player who was substituted after just 1 second. A soccer player once got substituted after playing for only 1 second. During a 2013 match in England, midfielder Keith Gillespie was brought on as a substitute. As soon as the referee restarted play, he elbowed an opponent in the face before even touching the ball. The referee instantly showed him a red card, meaning his time on the pitch lasted just 1 second. It remains one of the shortest appearances in soccer history. The soccer game that was played underwater. A full soccer match was once played completely underwater. In 2019, a group of extreme sports athletes in Austria organized the first ever underwater soccer match. Players wore diving gear and had to pass, dribble, and score while holding their breath. The ball was specially designed to stay suspended in the water, and goals could only be scored by pushing the ball into underwater nets. The match lasted 30 minutes, making it one of the most bizarre versions of soccer ever played. The player who scored while taking a drink. A soccer player once scored a goal while drinking water on the sideline. During a 2018 match in Argentina, striker Carlos Tevez walked over to the sideline to grab a quick sip of water. At that exact moment, his teammate intercepted a pass and sent the ball toward him. Still holding his water bottle, Tevez instinctively stuck out his foot, deflecting the ball into the net. The referee allowed the goal to stand, making it one of the most casual finishes in soccer history. The time a referee gave a penalty kick by accident. A referee once awarded a penalty by mistake because of a bird. During a 2015 match in Brazil, a defender cleared the ball inside his own penalty box, but at the same moment, a bird flew past the goal. The referee mistakenly thought the ball had hit the defender's hand and immediately awarded a penalty kick. Despite protests from the players, the decision stood and the opposing team scored from the spot, making it one of the most bizarre refereeing errors ever. The team that won a game without taking a single shot. A soccer team once won a match without taking a single shot on goal. In a 2019 match in Italy, the team Frosinone faced Sassuolo in a tightly contested game. Sassuolo dominated possession and took multiple shots, but somehow failed to score. Then, in the 88th minute, one of their defenders accidentally scored an own goal. Since Frosinone never took a shot of their own, they won 1-0 without ever kicking the ball toward the goal. The goalkeeper who took a nap during a match. A goalkeeper once fell asleep during a game because his team was too dominant. In 1954, legendary Soviet Union goalkeeper Lev Yashin played in a match where his team was so dominant that the ball never came near him. With nothing to do, Yashin leaned against the goalpost and accidentally dozed off. When an opponent finally got a shot on goal, he had to wake up quickly and make a save, proving that even the best keepers can get a little too comfortable. The player who scored with his face. A soccer player once scored a goal by accidentally smashing the ball off his own face. During a 2012 match in Spain, striker Álvaro Negredo attempted a diving header, but the ball bounced awkwardly off the ground and hit him square in the face. The force of the impact sent the ball flying past the goalkeeper and into the net. Dazed but laughing, Negredo celebrated one of the most painful but unforgettable goals of his career. The game that was stopped because of too much fog. A soccer match once had to be abandoned because players couldn't see each other. During a 1937 match at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea faced off against Charlton in extreme fog. The visibility got so bad that Charlton's goalkeeper, Sam Bartram, stood in goal for 15 minutes after the match had already been called off because he didn't realize the game was over. His teammates had left the field, but he could barely see past the penalty box and just assumed the action was still happening. Officials eventually had to walk over and tell him the game was over. The player who got a yellow card for celebrating too much. A soccer player once got a yellow card for celebrating his goal before he even scored it. During a 2009 match in Italy, striker Mirko Vucinic was through on goal with an open net. Instead of just tapping the ball in, he took off his jersey mid-run to celebrate early. But before he could kick the ball, the referee blew the whistle and gave him a yellow card. He was forced to put his shirt back on and finish the goal properly, making it one of the most premature celebrations ever. The player who brought his dog onto the field. A soccer player once ran onto the field carrying his pet dog. During a 2014 match in Argentina, midfielder Sebastian Pol was celebrating his team's victory when he suddenly ran onto the pitch holding his small dog. It turned out that his pet had escaped from his home and somehow made its way to the stadium. Seeing the dog near the tunnel, Paul picked it up and brought it onto the field for the post-game celebration. Fans loved the moment, and the dog instantly became the team's unofficial mascot. The time a player got a red card for winking. A soccer player once received a red card just for winking at an opponent. During a 2016 match in Scotland, midfielder Dean Brett was already on a yellow card when he got into a small argument with an opponent. Instead of saying anything, Brett gave him a sarcastic wink. The referee saw it as unsportsmanlike behavior and immediately pulled out a second yellow, sending him off. Brett later admitted he had no idea winking could get him ejected from a match. The time a fan snuck onto the field and played. A fan once disguised himself as a player and actually played in a match. During a 1979 match in Brazil, a die-hard supporter of Grêmio managed to sneak into the team's locker room, steal a jersey, and walk onto the field. Incredibly, the referee didn't notice, and he played for nearly 5 minutes before security realized he wasn't part of the squad. The funniest part? He even completed 2 passes before being escorted off the pitch. The goalkeeper who wore the number 10 jersey. A goalkeeper once played an entire match wearing a striker's jersey. During a 1999 match in Argentina, River Plate's goalkeeper Germán Burgos forgot to bring his kit. With no backup jersey available, he was forced to wear the number 10 shirt, usually reserved for playmakers like Lionel Messi. Despite the unusual number, Burgos still made several crucial saves, proving that it's not the number on your back, but the skill in your gloves that matters. The player who wore a wig during a match. A soccer player once wore a wig during a match to hide his hair transplant. In 2013, French striker Wesley Sneijder had recently undergone a hair transplant and didn't want anyone to notice. To cover it up, he wore a realistic-looking wig during a game for Galatasaray. However, after a few minutes of running, sweat caused the wig to slip out of place, forcing him to remove it mid-match. The incident left fans laughing, and Sneijder embraced the moment with good humor. The match that was delayed because of a sheep. A soccer game was once delayed because a sheep refused to leave the field. During a 2016 lower league match in Scotland, players were warming up when a sheep wandered onto the pitch and refused to move. Every time someone tried to chase it away, it would run back toward the center circle as if it wanted to play. After several minutes of failed attempts, stadium staff finally managed to guide the sheep out, earning it a round of applause from the amused crowd. The goalkeeper who used a towel for good luck. A goalkeeper once refused to play without his lucky towel hanging in the goal. Legendary English goalkeeper Bruce Grobbelaar had a bizarre superstition. Before every match, he would hang a white towel in the back of his goal. He believed it brought him luck and helped him make crucial saves. In one game, a referee removed the towel, and Grobbelaar became so distracted that he conceded 2 quick goals. After that, he made sure no one ever touched his lucky towel again. The time a team walked off because of a bad smell. A soccer team once refused to continue playing because of a terrible smell. During a 2013 match in Bolivia, the visiting team San Jose walked off the pitch mid-game, complaining about an unbearable stench. It turned out that the stadium's drainage system had malfunctioned, releasing a horrible sewage smell onto the field. Players were gagging, fans covered their noses, and after several minutes of protest, the match was officially abandoned due to unsuitable playing conditions. The time a dog saved a goal. A stray dog once ran onto the field and made a goal line save. During a 2018 match in Argentina, a team was about to concede a goal when, out of nowhere, a dog sprinted across the goal line and blocked the ball with its body. The goalkeeper was completely beaten, but thanks to the unexpected defender, the ball stayed out. The crowd erupted in laughter, and the referee had to pause the game to escort the heroic pup off the field. The player who got a red card for kicking a balloon. A soccer player once got sent off for kicking a balloon. During a 2011 match in Brazil, a stray red balloon floated onto the pitch. Defender Paulo Miranda casually kicked it away, but the referee mistook it for kicking the ball away in frustration and immediately gave him a second yellow card. Despite protests, the decision stood, and Miranda became one of the few players in history to be sent off because of a balloon. The game that was played on a floating pitch. A professional soccer match was once played on a floating stadium. In 2012, Singapore built a massive floating soccer field called the Float at Marina Bay. The entire pitch was constructed on a platform in the water, making it one of the most unique stadiums in history. Players had to be extra careful because if they kicked too hard, the ball would go straight into the bay. Despite the unusual setting, official matches and training sessions were held there for years. The time a fan controlled the stadium sprinklers. A soccer match was once disrupted because a fan hacked into the stadium's sprinklers. During a 2021 match in Spain, just as the game was about to kick off, the stadium sprinklers suddenly turned on, soaking the players. Confused officials scrambled to turn them off, only to realize that a tech-savvy fan had hacked into the system remotely. The prank delayed the game for several minutes, and security was forced to track down the culprit before play could resume. The time a player got a yellow card for farting. A soccer player once received a yellow card for farting during a match. In 2016, Swedish footballer Adam Linden Ljungqvist was already on a yellow card when the referee suddenly stopped the game. His crime? Letting out a loud fart near an opponent. The referee considered it unsportsmanlike behavior and gave him a second yellow, sending him off. Ljungqvist later claimed it was just a natural reaction, but the referee wasn't laughing. The goal that was disallowed because of a fan's whistle. A perfectly legal goal was once canceled because a fan blew a fake whistle. During a 2002 match in Italy, a striker broke free and scored a brilliant goal. But just before the ball hit the net, a fan in the stands blew a whistle that sounded exactly like the referee's. Thinking the play had stopped, the referee disallowed the goal, believing he had blown the whistle himself by accident. The furious team protested, but the goal never stood, making it one of the most frustrating pranks in soccer history. The time a referee forgot his cards. A referee once had to borrow a yellow card from a player because he forgot his own. During a 2016 match in Portugal, the referee went to book a player for a foul, only to realize he had left his yellow and red cards in the locker room. Embarrassed, he had no choice but to ask one of the players to lend him a yellow card so he could issue the booking. The moment left players and fans laughing, and the referee later admitted it was his most embarrassing mistake on the job. The player who got sent off for celebrating with the fans. A soccer player once got a red card for hugging fans after scoring a goal. During a 2017 match in France, striker Issa Sissoko scored a dramatic late winner. Overcome with excitement, he jumped into the crowd to celebrate with the fans. But when he returned to the field, the referee immediately showed him a second yellow card for leaving the pitch, sending him off just seconds after scoring. His team still won, but Sissoko had to watch the final moments from the locker room. The time a ball burst midair. A soccer ball once exploded in midair during a match. During a 2014 game in Argentina, a player struck the ball with so much power that it burst into pieces mid-flight. The force of the kick caused a defect in the ball's stitching to give way, leaving only shreds of leather and rubber flying toward the goal. The referee had to stop the game, and players couldn't believe what they had just witnessed. A replacement ball was brought in, but that shattered ball became an instant piece of soccer history. The player who changed his name to avoid a curse. A soccer player once legally changed his name because he believed he was cursed. In 2012, Brazilian midfielder Victor Simões was convinced that bad luck was ruining his career. After a series of injuries and poor performances, he believed his name was bringing him misfortune. To change his fate, he legally changed his name to Victor Bolt, inspired by the speed of Olympic sprinter Usain Bolt. After the name change, he claimed his luck improved, proving that some players will do anything to shake off bad vibes. The time a goalkeeper scored without kicking the ball. A goalkeeper once scored a goal without even kicking the ball. During a 2013 match in England, a goalkeeper made a routine save and tossed the ball forward to restart play. But as soon as he threw it, a strong gust of wind blew it backward, sending it sailing over his head and into his own net. The stunned goalkeeper could only watch as the referee awarded a goal to the opposing team, making it one of the weirdest own goals in soccer history. The player who brought a selfie stick onto the field. A soccer player once celebrated a goal by taking a selfie onto the field. During a 2015 match in Italy, striker Francesco Totti scored a crucial goal and ran straight toward the crowd. But instead of a traditional celebration, he pulled out a selfie stick hidden in his sock and took a photo with the fans behind him. The moment became iconic, making him one of the first players ever to turn a goal celebration into a viral social media moment. The player who was sent off for tackling a teammate. A soccer player once received a red card for tackling his own teammate. During a 2011 match in Argentina, defender Carlos Arano accidentally slid in hard on his own teammate, knocking him to the ground. The referee thought it was a reckless challenge on an opponent and immediately showed him a red card. Despite protests, the ref refused to change his mind, making it one of the strangest ejections in soccer history. The match that was stopped by a drone. A soccer game was once stopped because of a flying drone. During a 2014 match between Serbia and Albania, a drone carrying a political flag suddenly appeared over the field. Players and fans were confused as the drone hovered above them until an Albanian player jumped up and grabbed it out of the air. Chaos erupted as players from both teams started fighting and the match had to be abandoned. It remains one of the strangest reasons a game has ever been stopped. The time a referee used a red card on a coach's chair. A referee once gave a red card to a chair. During a 2019 match in Brazil, a coach was so frustrated with a referee's decision that he kicked a chair onto the field in anger. The referee, instead of just warning him, walked over and dramatically showed a red card to the chair. The crowd erupted in laughter, and even the coach couldn't help but smile at the bizarre moment. The player who got a yellow card for imitating the referee. A soccer player once received a yellow card for pretending to be the referee. During a 2010 match in Spain, midfielder Sergio Ramos tried to be funny by mimicking the referee's gestures after a foul. He pulled an imaginary yellow card out of his pocket and waved it at an opponent, only for the real referee to immediately book him for unsporting behavior. Ramos later laughed about the moment, but it was a lesson that referees don't like being impersonated. The match that was stopped because of too many red cards. A soccer game was once abandoned because too many players were sent off. During a 1993 match in Paraguay, tensions boiled over between Sportivo Emiliano and General Caballero. A mass brawl broke out, and the referee had no choice but to send off a total of 20 players. Since each team must have at least 7 players on the field for the game to continue, the match was abandoned, one of the rarest ways a game has ever ended. The player who was substituted before kickoff. A soccer player once got substituted before the match even started. During a 2017 match in England, defender Callum Elder was included in the starting lineup, but suddenly felt ill during the pre-match warm-up. Just minutes before kickoff, his coach decided to replace him with a substitute before he had even stepped onto the field. This rare situation meant he officially started the game, but never actually played a single second. The time a goalkeeper scored with his head in the last second. A goalkeeper once scored a last-second equalizer with a diving header. During a 2001 match in the English Premier League, Liverpool's goalkeeper, Alisson Becker, ran up for a corner kick in stoppage time. With his team trailing, he launched himself into the air and smashed a perfect header into the net. It was the first time in Liverpool's history that a goalkeeper had scored in a competitive match, and it saved the team from defeat in the final seconds. The player who scored a goal while tying his shorts. A soccer player once scored a goal while fixing his shorts. During a 2015 match in Germany, striker Pierre-Michel Lassoga was adjusting the drawstring on his shorts when a teammate unexpectedly crossed the ball into the box. With no time to react, he stuck out his knee while still tying his shorts, and the ball deflected off him and into the net. He barely even saw the goal happen, but it counted, making it one of the strangest finishes in soccer history. The game that lasted only 2 seconds. A soccer match once ended after just 2 seconds, the shortest game in history. In 2004, an English amateur match between Cross Farm Park Celtic and Taunton East Reach Wanderers was called off immediately after kickoff. Why? Celtic only had 7 players, and as soon as the referee blew the whistle, one of them pretended to be injured, so the game would be abandoned. Since a team must have at least 7 players to continue, the referee had no choice but to blow the final whistle after just 2 seconds. Conclusion. Congratulations. You've just explored 100 mind-blowing soccer facts and uncovered the wildest, weirdest, and most unbelievable moments in the history of the beautiful game. From bizarre red cards to unexpected goal scorers, this audiobook has shown that soccer is much more than just a sport. It's a global spectacle full of surprises. But here's the thing about soccer. It never stops evolving. For every fact you've just heard, there are countless more waiting to happen. Maybe this audiobook has made you love the game even more, or perhaps it's opened your ears to how truly unpredictable soccer can be. Whether you're a die-hard fan or just here for the crazy stories, one thing is clear: soccer will always find a way to shock, entertain, and amaze. The beauty of this sport is that you never know what's coming next. Maybe the next record-breaking moment or bizarre event is happening right now on a field somewhere in the world. All it takes is a love for the game, a curious mind, and a willingness to ask, what's next? So as you reach the end of this audiobook, don't think of it as the final whistle. Think of it as extra time, because the game never really ends, and soccer's craziest moments are still being written. Until next time, stay curious, stay adventurous, and remember, the best soccer stories are the ones that haven't happened yet. Acknowledgements. Creating 100 mind-blowing soccer facts has been a journey of passion, dedication, and plenty of last-minute deep dives into the craziest moments in soccer history. While my name may be on the cover, this audiobook wouldn't have come to life without the inspiration, support, and contributions from some truly amazing people. First, a huge thank you to all the soccer fans, storytellers, and trivia lovers who keep the game's wildest moments alive. Your passion for the sport and its unpredictability has been a constant source of inspiration. This audiobook is a celebration of the bizarre, legendary, and mind-blowing moments that make soccer the most thrilling game on earth. To my family and friends, thank you for putting up with my endless soccer stories and for letting me go on and on about strange red cards, record-breaking goals, and games that had more drama than a championship final. Your support and patience means the world. A special shout out to my listeners. You're the ones who make this journey worthwhile. Whether you started this audiobook for the laughs, the jaw-dropping moments, or the perfect soccer trivia to impress your friends, this one's for you. Your curiosity and love for the game keep these stories alive. And finally, to the game of soccer itself, thank you for being so beautifully chaotic, endlessly surprising, and downright unbelievable. You've given us moments that defy logic, rewrite history, and remind us why we fell in love with this sport in the first place. Here's to soccer, to the stories yet to be told, and to the craziest sport in the world. About the author. I'm Felix Grayson, a storyteller at heart, driven by an insatiable curiosity for the strange, surprising, and downright unbelievable moments in sports. I've always been fascinated by the wildest and most mind-blowing tales from the world of soccer, and that passion led me to create 100 mind-blowing soccer facts to entertain, amaze, and spark wonder in fans of all ages. When I'm not digging through archives or chasing down the next quirky soccer moment, you can find me exploring legendary stadiums, devouring sports biographies, and pondering life's most fascinating questions over a cold drink while watching the beautiful game unfold. I truly believe in soccer's magic and the power of a great story. That's why I'm excited to take you on this journey through the sport's craziest and most unpredictable moments, proving that soccer is just as full of surprises off the pitch as it is on.